But I also do believe Joe's better than Brock is and brings more to the table. And so Joe Burrow become available, any team, would at least consider exploring, trying to get one of those guys, to come to their place.
The Colts hosting the 49ers, and Phillip Rivers might be the quarterback.
I mean, I can't wait. I mean, if he is at that point in time, I think we'll have a lot of really good things to be saying at that point. And so I'm excited. I think everybody in the football world is excited to watch this game and to see how this can go. You remember Joe Flacco a couple years ago came off the couch and did some great things for Cleveland. Now, he wasn't sitting on the couch for 5 years, so that's a whole different deal. But again, there's two aspects to this. I have so much respect for Phillip Rivers that I can't sit here, as a player and the person that he is, I can't sit here and say, oh, it's not going to go well. He's got no chance. But I also have so much respect for the game and what it's all about and how complex it is and how fast it is that I also don't say, oh, any 44-year-old can come off a couch after sitting on it for 5 years and go light up the NFL. I don't believe that either. But hopefully Phillip proves me wrong in that regard. And he's still got some of that magic that he had when he was going good.
Kurt, Dibbs and I have been sitting here sort of talking out mythical Joe Burrow scenarios. I don't know. Did you hear the press conference that he held? Did you hear it? How do you translate that, Kurt? Where does your mind go?
Well, my mind goes to one of two places. The first one is, he mentioned it there that, it's been a struggle for him to stay on the field, and he's been beat up and he's been hit a lot. And, when you're constantly on that road of, just trying to battle just to be out there every single week, it does take the fun away from it. You can't enjoy the week. You can't enjoy the preparation because it's all about what can I do next to get healthy and get out there or to manage the injuries that I have. And it's not just playing ball and, letting things fall as they may. And so that could be one side of it, or that could be what he's talking about is just, man, I can't stay healthy. And, just this grind all the time is not enjoyable. It's not the football that I remember. And then there could be the other side of it that could be, I'm not having any fun here, specifically because I'm playing really well. The offense is playing really well. Our defense is struggling and we can't get that right. And so no matter how well we play, we still don't win. We still don't get a chance to compete for a championship. We've talked a lot about their offensive line at times, not always putting the pieces together for him. And so he's getting hit, and maybe that's part of the frustration is I can't stay on the field because I get hit so much, and we're not addressing some of those things. So it could be a combination of both, that just right now, it's not fun. The last 2 years, it hasn't been fun because no matter what we do, I have trouble staying on the field and we have trouble winning. And that's not a fun combination. As much as I love football, that's not a fun combination at the NFL level.
All right, so this is I got a couple on the Joe Burrow situation based on what you just said. Because when we hear what he said, some people's mind went to, I don't know, maybe that 2x4 is in his garage. I don't know if he's been hit with it yet, but maybe it's close, or maybe this is just about the Bengals. Do you believe that Joe is getting reflective on his career, or is it getting reflective on his team?
Yeah, it's so hard for me. And again, it's not, out of the realm of possibility. I mean, we saw Andrew Luck in the heart of his career, great quarterback, walk away. And it sounds like, one side of it could very easily be the same stuff that Andrew went through, the physical pounding and the toll that was taking on him physically to play the game, and he walked away early, and nobody would have guessed that in a million years. And so, you watch Joe, and you know how good he is, and he's still got stuff he wants to accomplish. It's hard for me to buy in that, it's fully about his future and walking away.
Yeah.
But more power to him. Again, this game's great, and it gives us so many great things, but it also takes a toll on you, and it can take a toll on you physically. And if you feel that way and you have no ties with your, defining your life or your career by, by all these things that you could accomplish, and you can walk away and be healthy and, be set financially and move into the next phase, more power to you. It's just hard for me to buy that with these, with a young guy like him that you feel like has so much more in the tank from a player standpoint. It's hard for me to think that this is just reflective of, hey, I've been through some injuries. I think I want to walk away.
I agree with you, which is why my mind kind of leans in the direction of this is about a team that has not gotten a defense and an offensive line around its franchise QB. Yeah. So if there is this mythical, like Joe Burrow wants out, Kurt, you've had so many great conversations with us about Brock Purdy. If the Bengals, if Joe Burrow wants out, should the Niners be interested?
I mean, yeah, that's a tough question. I love Brock, and I think Brock's really good. But I also do believe Joe's better than Brock is and brings more to the table. And so I think, if that were the case, you probably have 28 teams in the league that say Joe Burrow would be an upgrade at the quarterback spot, not a knock on any of these other guys. They're really good quarterbacks in this league. It's just Joe's one of the special ones. He's shown that time and again. So, but again, I don't know what all that entails for all these different teams. I don't know what that entails, for Joe to even get out of Cincinnati. I just can't imagine Cincinnati letting him go. I understand if, it was a Carson Palmer and I'm going to retire if you don't trade me type of thing. Okay. But I also think part of, and not that they can't do all of it, but, this offseason, they went and, they signed Jamar Chase and they signed T. Higgins and so they made some moves and some things that Joe wanted from that standpoint. I think it's also hard to get everything that you want in this league. When guys are getting paid so much, you can put so much of it into certain areas, and you have to kind of focus on, what you want to do. And, sometimes you can draft really well and you get great skill players in the draft, or you can get great offensive linemen that aren't getting paid a lot of money yet, and you can kind of put it all together. But, I just think that's another challenge when you have a bunch of great players on a team. Like Cincinnati did, you kind of get top heavy with some of that payment. But back to your point, I love Brock, and I think Brock is a really good starting quarterback in the National Football League. So I don't think he's a guy that you part with easily. But if Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow become available, I think any team, especially with as young as those guys are, any team, would at least consider exploring, trying to get one of those guys, to come to their place.
Yeah, it probably cost the Niners a couple of first-round picks as well, but not to get too bogged down into that part. I'm just curious, Kurt, about the Joe Burrow fit in the Shanahan scheme, because we've seen Brock Purdy be really good at what they run, 21 personnel, a lot of the outside zone and the play action stuff. Is Joe Burrow so good that he's a scheme fit for anybody?
I don't know about anybody, but I think he is one guy that fits in a lot of schemes for sure. I think Joe, to me, is one of the best processors and readers of the field in the National Football League, maybe the best. I enjoy watching him because I feel like he played the game very much like I did. I don't know if that's fully conducive to what Kyle does, but I believe a guy like that processes information really well can fit into that system and find ways to have success and, have the ability to make different kinds of throws. We've talked about that with Brock numerous times. I think what makes him so special in that offense is sometimes they ask the quarterback to make some tough throws. And he's got the ability to make those tough kind of throws. Joe has that ability as well. He processes information really, really fast. In a passing offense, and especially, Kyle with the play action and what they do off the run game. Joe would excel in that. I think the pass game may be a little more of a struggle based on the way Joe plays to how they want to play, with more of the pure progression versus the full field reads. But without a question, I think Joe and Kyle, if they were to get together, could easily mesh that together and come up with something pretty awesome.
All right, so now that we can break down the 2026 Niners a little bit more, maybe next time we talk. We don't want to let you get out of here without breaking down the 2025 San Francisco 49ers. I think a lot of fans here in the Bay, the minute Fred Warner and Nick Bosa went out, sort of had a sheepish look at their chances this year.
Yeah.
But now suddenly people are starting to dream. They're at least healthy on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
NFC, other contenders have some warts too. How do you see, where I should say, do you see them sitting within the framework of the NFC right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them as one of the best teams right now. Obviously, you know, when you have someone like Christian and the way that he's playing, he is an X factor. And they've used him so much this year and kind of gotten back to that heavy usage with him. And so he's that guy that you see and you go, okay, with a guy like that, you have the opportunity to beat anybody. But I don't know the skill on the outside. If, you know, they get into a pass game, if they can win that kind of pass game. I really like their defense. I think they've overperformed, you know, as you guys said, with some of the injuries that they have. So I think this is a really good, solid team. I don't know if they're a great team. Now, I don't know if we have a lot of great teams that are out there, you know, but the way the Rams are playing and how solid they are across the board. But I know San Francisco beat them and beat them with Mac in there. And so I think they match up well with everybody because they can win the physical battle. They're solid on defense. They don't make a lot of big mistakes on defense. And they've got some playmakers on offense that you can kind of hang your hat on. When I look at them, I look at them as kind of just a step below, you know, some of the other better teams.